Alright, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, humans and pets, welcome back once again to the North America Mobile Mayhem YAWN Tournament Season 1. We're now in the match 2 of the day playoff between Tribe and YAWN. Right now, Tribe is 1-0 ahead. YAWN has one game to catch up. Can they do it? We shall find out. I'm your caster, AssassinDave. With me, Tasty Bacon. How are you doing, Tasty?
I'm doing good. We just saw moments of hope for the side of YAWN early in that game, especially. They were playing their composition the way they had to, but unfortunately it got away from them. They started chasing Tribe. They started, going into spots where Tribe was trying to push them to. And when you're chasing the other team, when you're constantly having to play reactive as opposed to proactive, you're gonna start making mistakes. You're going to start getting caught out, and that's exactly what we saw in game number 1. So hopefully, YAWN can recognize that and make the adjustments that they need between games 1 and 2 to make this a more competitive series in the scoreboard, at least. Because while even if it ends up being a 3-0, like you mentioned, it could still be competitive. But we want it to look competitive on the scoreboard. We want to see those extra games come through. We want to see teams be able to topple the teams that are widely recognized to be the top in the region.
Yeah, the underdogs, man. I'm all about underdogs. People know me. Like, I don't support the top teams. Yeah, who's Goons? Nobody knows them. Like, we're here for the YAWNs, right? We're Tribe, right? Nobody knows them. Like, we want an underdog team to come up and say that, hey, NA is competitive. We have a lot more competitive players, and they're trying to identify themselves, like put themselves together. So this game, you accurately pointed out, YAWN was able to hold up against Tribe for so long, and it just made the same mistake really they did last week, where they kind of deviated from their game plan. So can they quickly adjust those? Take a breather, realizing that, hey, let's set out a game plan at the beginning of the game and execute on it from beginning to end. So YAWN, let's take a look at second game ban pick. Again, we're in all-round ban pick format, so all the champions that have taken out in game 1, they can no longer use. So this game, we're gonna see a full-on dive comp. Every time you see Wukong, you already know kind of what they're gonna go with, right? Xayah, Rakan, but Xayah's taken out by Tribe. So we still have a lot more other champions that you can take out. So for example, if you look at ADC-wise, maybe even Draven, I don't know. Maybe Varus. Varus works out really well. Actually, you can see the wombo combo potential with Rakan and Wukong, right? We talk about Draven, Varus being the all-around ADC. So yeah, they have a lot of options right now for Team YAWN.
Absolutely, plenty of options, plenty of ways that they can go with their composition. But seeing Tribe get this Garen with the Xayah is already a very scary proposition to be looking at across from you. You do have the Wukong and the Gragas with that Rakan, so it's not going to have the Xayah Rakan pairing at the very least. But Tribe is now going to pick up the, very likely this Braum to pair with the Xayah. If you don't get the Rakan, a lot of teams, the Braum is the default kind of number 2 pick. So would very much expect to see the Braum picked here. And if they pair it with the Lee Sin as well, this is a really, really strong early game from Tribe.
Yeah, I mean, they're looking to end the game before the game even starts, right? like that's the thing, because when you have Tigers on Lee Sin, we're looking at a similar playstyle. When again, I like to compare the top 2 teams from an 8 all the time. When you have Lee Sin from Tigers, his signature playstyle is similar, just like any good Lee Sin player would do. I try to look for invade, especially when your composition involve a Braum as well. Like we're looking at probably you can't get a stronger early game than Tribe's composition right here. So if they can win for the first 4 minutes into the game, it's gonna be a big hurdle for them. Like they're gonna get into a roadblock, right? Every time we talk about when you pick a Lee Sin, you're literally putting your team on the time bomb, right? It's ticking all the time. Like every time you're not able to get an early game advantage, if you're not able to secure the first dragon or invade the jungle, you're setting yourself behind actually, right? Because then the enemy team can outscale you, the Wukong can outscale you, the Gragas can outscale you late game. So Tribe has a really strong early game. Can they pull off the early game invade? Are they going to be the first team who want to invade at level 1? We shall find out. I can't wait.
Yeah, I mean, just based on the composition they have, I would say absolutely they're going to be looking for some early invades, but obviously Wukong can do pretty decent work early in the game as well, so you don't want to write that off completely. But how about this, Dave? An Aurelian Soul and a Corki.
Dang. That's my only comment for it. Aurelion Sol, we don't see many we don't see show up very often in this tournament. And on top of it, you kind of match that with another mid-lane choice, which is Corki, which is going to be played as ADC, obviously, in this game. So Team YAWN, their Dragon lane is looking like very strong, right? Because Corki can dish out a lot of damage, so it's one of the champion choices that can really match with a really aggressive support. Because you do not want to pair this like with another poke ADC, with another poke like marksman. You really want just someone who can dish out damage early on, like Misfortune, like Jing, like Corki. So I really like this pick from Wiki onto that Corki, and then the Aurelion Sol though. That I have to really see how they execute. So Aurelion Sol, after many iterations, it's come to a place where he's not that strong in the game anymore. He no longer does insane amount of damages with the spin. So we shall find out how he does again, especially looking at a Lee Sin who's not playing really aggressive into the mid lane. So how is he going to perform? Is Aurelion Sol able to kite around properly? And again, is Tribe going to invade level 1? We shall see.
Yeah, absolutely. And with the Twisted Fate, and again, very similar composition to what their opponents ran in the last game, just in terms of that, the style, not necessarily the exact champions, but just the play style of having, much less focus, I should say, on the actual team fights, much more focus on just trying to get picks, trying to find opportunities to catch someone out of position or in the middle of a rotation. That's what Tribe's going to be looking for. So I would expect some early invades. I would expect them to, try and set up at these dragons earlier than their opponents. Just being able to be there and try and take out the scout for the opposing team. That's really where this Tribe composition is going to excel.
Yeah, and ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching the stream, I still want to tell you once again, this is the playoff, and we're in the single elimination. This is the semifinals, actually. The winner is going to compete in the grand final tomorrow, and the loser will compete for the 3rd and 4th place. So if you're watching the stream, the grand final will be tomorrow, and we're going to start at the same time. So make sure to join the Trovo.live though, because the grand final will be streamed exclusively on Trovo, and that's where you're going to see the best of NA compete, right? That's where you're going to see a glimpse of how NA is really going to do in Worlds, because we're seeing the Origin series from the other regions. We see many tournaments happening in EU, in SEA, but NA tournaments, this is it, right? This is North America, the biggest league format, and then the teams are top-notch teams. These are the teams that are going to represent North America competitive scene. So if you're watching the stream, if you want to support all the players, support all the casters, the organizers, make sure to head to Trovo Live and make sure to follow Mr. Tasty on Twitter so you can follow all the future events that he's going to get himself involved in, he's going to be casting in, and you can follow all the future events that Mobile Mayhem is organizing, because it doesn't matter which game you're going to be playing that you're looking to watch competitive tournaments for. Mobile Mayhem is the organizer for it, and Trovo.live is the platform that supports most of the mobile tournaments for North America scene. So, two stronghold, two powerhouse coming together to put this stuff together. A big shout out to them for making this happen. Make sure to go to Trovo.live right now and sign up and get ready for the grand final tomorrow. Again, right now is Tribe 1-0 ahead, and if YAWN's able to take a game back, we're going to a best out of 3 essentially. But if Tribe take another win, they're looking at a match point right after this game.
Yeah, we are just going to be waiting a moment for the players to be ready to get into game number 2 here. As obviously, as you can see, the draft has concluded. We are just going to be a slight wait for the players to get themselves prepped and ready to go, as this is, a very important game. If Tribe wins this one, they have all the momentum on their side with a 2-0 lead. But if YAWN can make this victory happen, all of a sudden, this series could go either way, and we'll be guaranteed at least a 4th game. And the more games we get, the more and more these champion pools are going to be tested, the more different team compositions we're going to see come out. So I'm excited to see potential to have more games come through, just to be able to see how these teams work with the draft and what they do decide to how they decide to utilize this all-round draft. But looks like we are going to be getting into game here in just a few moments.
Yeah, and for Team YAWN, I gotta look at their composition overall. They have a lot of champions they've taken out this game that all their players are really comfortable in. Like Vicky as a new addition to Team YAWN. You can see last game's mechanic on Israel was definitely not bad at all. It was just mainly that they were not able to, like, again, we have said this over and over again, that play to their win condition. But if you look at Wukong, it's probably the #1 choice for Zenith's rank 1. The amount of proficiency this player has on Wukong is similar to how Starting has on Corki, right? Or how T-Tiger has on the Lee Sin. So they're pulling out their strongest champions. They do not want this game to go to 2-0 because, again, that's being too much pressure for their team. So can they pull out this game? They have a lot of wombo combo potential, the Wukong engage, Rakan engage with the Aurelion Soul follow-up and Corki burst. So this game, it's Y'all's team to win and the Tribes game to lose, to be honest.
Yep, absolutely. Is now teams are cutting out on to the Rift here, and so we're going to be able to see what this early game is going to look like. Again, I would very much expect Tribe to try and make some early plays happen, but it is going to instead be mostly information gathering. Very defensive start for the side of YAWN. Very likely they were expecting perhaps some shenanigans to happen at level 1, but it is going to ultimately just be relatively standard start here for both teams.
And if you look at the warding, right, I just want to point this out. This ward is so crucial. Like this ward right here into the YAWN's jungle, that's stuff that we see Goons does every single game, right? The entire 3 games they pulled out against Mayhem, that's the ward. Oh, mid lane?
Oh, that's going to be an early engage onto the Aurelion Soul. Aurelion Soul is one of those champions that's actually very easy to gank because he's just not mobile at all. Doesn't have a stun unless he is already has that able to move towards you really to get a stun off. So really difficult champion to kind of avoid these early ganks. But T-Tigers and Starting, they're rotating through this jungle trying to find. They were looking for the Wukong. They wanted to try and set him behind early, but now here in the mid lane, can they find that opportunity? No, it's going to be just walking away for now.
Oh no, 9 get connected.
The T-Tigers jumps right back out to safety before a answer trade can happen. And that's just a really good look for the mid lane here of Tribe.
No, Tigers already used Smite on that minion over there. Now, look at the River Sculler. Look at Old School and Yikes able to get this one without any... Oh, look at mid lane once again. Zenith.
Oh, it's a lot of damage onto the Wukong. So low, but it's going to be Tigers jumping on in. Can't quite find the kill, though. And that's going to be the Stars expanding for a double kill. That's 2 kills picked up into this mid lane. That is a disaster for Tribe. I don't know if that was a miscommunication or if that was just overconfidence or what it was, but either way, that is a huge pickup for YAWN.
I mean, I think it's greed. That's only one word. I was just saying that Old School and Yikes was getting the River Scholar on the bottom side, but greed got to them. Oh, greed got to Tigers, and sure enough, on the startings on the Twisted Fate, they wanted the kill. It didn't pan out. It didn't pan out for them. They were able to over tank the tower. You do not want to underestimate the early game tower damage. Sure, you get them low. I think once you get them low, you should just go for the River Scholar. Really secure the early game control, and that's good enough. When you look at Lee Sin that's being a really strong early game, you don't really have to get early game kills. You just have to get early game control. And then if you're able to snowball starting the dragon, I think that's still really, really good. That's still a big dub for them. But they took a little bit of step too far, and that's the difference, I guess. When you look at when we're talking about off stage or bottom side.
That's going to be the Twisted Fate ultimate. Aurelion Soul's on his way. It's going to be a little bit too late as they pick up the kill on the Corki. Yikes, misses the Braum ult entirely, but it's not going to be punished for it as Aurelion Soul and Rakan still down here. Lee Sin has rotated over as well as Wukong, but both junglers are going to be backing away. As Tribe says, okay, we got the kill. That's enough for us for now. Let's recall 30 seconds to Dragon, get our items purchased, and be ready to fight for this objective.
Yeah, and with that miss on Braum's ultimate, though, Yikes is not going to have it ready in 20 seconds. The Dragon's going to come up in 18 seconds right now, and then he's not going to have it. So this is really a team fight that Team YAWN need to consider. They have to force it somehow, because they know that when you don't have it all on one of the biggest engage tool for Team Tribe, you have to take advantage of it. If you're just going to give it out, as it looks like it, that's just not good. So they have vision on on Tribe, I mean, let's see what they want to do right here.
It's going to be Wukong coming over the wall, immediately gets kicked out, and the jungle secured. Great play by T-Tigers to prevent any potential steal. Now it's going to be YAWN trying to chase down, trying to look for an opportunity to re-engage, but Tribe is not going to give it to them. They just get the dragon back away, and let's call it a day there.
Yeah, I just absolutely love the warding. Look at the bottom side warding from the entire team Tribe, right? They have every single corner covered. They have vision here. They have vision over here. They know exactly.
Hold on, top there's going to be a skirmish happening. That's Wukong going and getting some nice knockups, but do they have the damage trying to kill? Garen drops the ult, and that's going to be the first kill of this fight. They do manage to find T-Tigers on this Lee Sin, but Garen's now spinning in the middle. He is spinning. He is winning. He gets a second kill starting. Wants to finish off this Gragas, but he's not going to have the damage to do so. Will just instead take the Scuttle Crab, but it's a 2-for-2 fight.
Blue team champion
again, we see this is the same thing from YAWN every single time. You know, they're able to hold up against one of the strongest team in North America in the early game, but can they extend? Oh, speaking of the bottom side, Old School is just going to pick another kill on the support very easily. Now they're going to get a little play money on the bottom side. But again, YAWN, once they have the advantage, they already proven themselves over and over again that they're a top contender in North America. They just have to make those minor adjustments. Once again, if you look at all the vision control from the entire team Tribe, they got a vision everywhere. Look at this. A Rip Herald's about to spawn, right? You got a vision right here in a river. You got a vision knowing that from some key entrances to YAWN coming in. So I really like Tribe's overall vision control on the entire map.
Yeah, and speaking of vision control, that's going to be the Rift Herald started up as soon as it appears. And it doesn't look like anyone from the side of YAWN is even going to make their way up here to know this is happening until after it gets secured. So Rift Herald picked up by Tribe. And again, kills are very close, but Tribe is slowly starting to build up a gold lead on this bottom lane. Starting is going to be okay, but the rest of the rotations are coming through. Do we have a skirmish happening? Starting, pops the ultimate, teleports onto the backside of the fight, gets the stun onto Aurelion Sol. Now Garen is just spinning on top of Zenith rank 1. He is going to be taken down extremely low. They find the kill on Aurelion Sol as well. 2 kills for Tribe, and they take a turret as well. Meanwhile, it's T-Tiger still just alone against 2 members of YAWN. He does end up dropping, but Tribe got themselves their objective, got themselves the kill. It's going to be actually the ultimate forced out from both the Gragas and Old School. No kills coming from it. So Tribe backing away after they get a good chunk of damage done on that mid turret.
Yeah. I like YAWN. Every single player from YAWN, I'm actually a big fan of. They're pretty decisive on their engages. You can see Rakan's engaged pretty good, and then their team's able to follow up in a small little area control. But in the big skirmishes, they're still missing the coordination needed for a team to compete against a team like Tribe. Oh, speaking of that, Zenith's rank 1. Might be some trouble right here.
Zenith rank 1 did steal away the Scuttle Crab, but is he going to be paying for it?
Aurelion Sol?
That's Aurelion Sol coming on the backside, but you're alone. They just turn immediately onto Aurelion Sol. Now Chuck coming in as is Garen. Gets the silence off, but that's going to be the fight chasing up into the river, and it's going to be Wukong actually finding T-Tigers instead. Yikes has to flash over the wall to get away, and now down in the bottom lane, it is going to be Old School looking to chase onto Vicky, but not going to be able to stick around long enough. And now Gragas knocks him right back in, and they find the kill. YAWN is not going down without a fight. They are taking the fight to Tribe now. Zenith rank 1 goes under the turret, almost takes down Chuck. Chuck is on a sliver of health, but there's the chase through to finish off that kill. And now Yikes is going to try and get an answer, but he doesn't quite get the kill. But the turret takes care of Wukong, and now the fight is continuing as it's going to be the Gragas falling as well. This is just non-stop fights.
Non-stop fight it is. I mean, what is this game? Already got 20 kills on the map right now on 9 minutes into the game. This is probably one of the most aggressive and ferocious and swingy up and down type of games. So eventually, if you look at overall control right now, Tribe still again have 2 dragons under their belt, and they're about to get a bottom tier 1 tower, which put themselves at a 2-tower advantage over the map. That's only gonna continue to catapult themselves to a better position into this game. So I mean, for YAWN, I'm continuing to think about their win condition. They're able to pull out some small wombo combos, but not able to finish anyone off with those quad controls. In the top side, we're constantly dying, and now Corki doesn't seem like he can survive any longer. So once again, YAWN just need to tie up those mistakes that they're making in those small skirmishes, and maybe they have a better chance going against Tribe.
Yeah, I mean, Tribe is making plenty of mistakes themselves as well, and YAWN's doing a good job of capitalizing on them when they can. But then they just overstay their welcome. They overcommit and just give those up, those small advantages they're able to earn right back over to Tribe. And I mean, we're now looking at about a 7,000 gold lead, even though the kills are only 9 to 12. It's only a 3-kill difference, but 7,000 gold in favor of Tribe. Plus, they have the 2 dragons to their name. T-Tigers looking potentially to go aggressive. We know he likes to play extremely aggressive. Going to be Zenith trying to go in as well. As it's going now, everyone kind of backing away as Baron is available. The Rift Herald gets dropped in mid lane as Tribe is going to start up this Baron. YAWN, they need to answer, but Wukong and Aurelion Sol both go back to base while this is happening. Do they? I don't even know if they know this is happening right now because it's just so low. Baron is taken, and now YAWN is just getting here. A big stun from Aurelion Sol, but they're trying to retreat as Chuck is just chasing on down. That's going to be Garen finding the ultimate kill on to Corki. Now a big knockup from Brawl, but it's not going to be enough from YAWN as they are going to be falling. All 5 members taken down. A Rift Herald and a Baron buff Tribe now barreling down the mid lane.
Yeah. And you got a Baron and a Rift Herald coming in at the same time.
Game.
Yeah, that's game. There's nothing you can do at this point. People are buying recalls, buying teleports. Rakan's being the only one alive with Corki. He's not gonna do much. He's not even delaying the inevitable. He's just watching the inevitable, right? So he's jumping in, getting a better position to watch the destruction of his own base.
I am extremely upset that the Rift Herald does not dance when you get a victory with it in Wild Rift. in PC League of Legends, if you destroy the Nexus and the Rift Herald is there, it starts dancing, and you don't get that in Wild Rift. That's the first time I've seen a Rift Herald alive at the end of a game, and it didn't dance. I was looking forward to the dance. It didn't happen. But Tribe, what a way. I mean, this looked like a very even game for a good portion of it.
Yep.
And then it just ends in 11 minutes. It ends up being one of the shortest games we've ever seen, despite the fact that it looked like it was actually relatively close. It looked like YAWN had a chance up until that Baron, and then all of a sudden the game's just over.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to say this, but history turned to repeat itself. Like, this entire day. I mean, just give you deja vu, right? Because this is exactly the same of last week, right? We saw this happen. YAWN's able to hold out a fight against Tribes for every single match, for the 2 matches they played against Tribe, and then lost in one team fight. Actually, 2 games the exact same way. So, like some games they already have a little bit of lead even, and then one team fight, gone. And that's exactly what happened in this game, right? They had the lead, and then one team fight swept, and then and this time Tribe even had a Rift Herald to just kind of speed up the process.
Yeah, I mean, that was just, again, it went from being, oh, YAWN, yeah, they're making mistakes, but they have a chance. They're able to take fights. They're able to get some kills, to the game's over in like the blink of an eye. That was so quick, so decisive from Tribe. And now all of a sudden they're sitting on match point. I
mean, for again, I gotta keep my the same position as I always have for Team YAWN. They're probably one of the closest contendant that we have so far to Tribe and Goons, right? But if they want to win or have a chance of winning, they got to keep their composure. If they have a game plan, they have to execute from beginning to end. You got to tie up those loose ends, right? Like so far, we're just seeing some pretty messy plays. Like you said, Tribe trying to give you a little window of opportunity. Right, Tribe still make some mistakes when they're throughout the entire game. So give you a little candy, for you to pick up. And then for Team YAWN, they're able to pick those up, but they don't know how to turn those leads into advantages, into controlling wins. So controlling advantages and solidifying advantages. Anyways, that's gonna be game point for Team Tribe. Are we gonna go to a 2-1? Are we gonna see an epic comeback? I mean, I love to see those, but we shall find out after a short break. Do not go anywhere. Make sure to like, subscribe, and turn the bell on to all notification bells. We'll see you guys in a little bit.